It's true that some things change as we get older. But if you're a woman over 40 and you're dealing with insomnia, brain fog, moodiness, and weight gain, you don't have to accept it as just another part of aging. And with MIDI Health, you can get help and stop pushing through it alone. The experts at MIDI understand that all these symptoms can be connected to the hormonal changes that happen around menopause, and MIDI can help you feel more like yourself again. Many healthcare providers aren't trained to treat or even recognize menopause symptoms. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts. They're dedicated to providing safe, effective, FDA-approved solutions for dozens of hormonal symptoms, not just hot flashes. Most importantly, they're covered by insurance. 91% of MIDI patients get relief from symptoms within just 2 months. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.
Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. We are now in a new location, Kevin, and I want to know what happens next.
On Critical Hit.
You guys are approaching Arshalan, a vast marsh that is the corporate headquarters of Doctor and Scramble, the corporate entity that owns the brand Space Suds, your sponsor. So last time
on Critical
Hit,
you guys had recovered from your apparent disqualification from drifters to pursue a rogue strategy of trying to get your fans engaged and some corporate backing to embark on the wild card race strategy of getting back into drifters. And so, along with your patron, Rain, who has seen better days for sure, you are now at Arshalan. This planet is covered in growth, old growth, life, constantly evolving. It's teeming with life from pole to pole, except that there's a massive grid-based system of Texas industrial recycler units raising the planet for raw materials. This is done at the behest of the Jabubnans, the frog people that evidently run Doctor and Scramble along with this planet. There is a massive corporate headquarters that's obvious from orbit. It's a city-sized industrial complex. And with your meeting scheduled, you can dock easily enough, and you are on time, which is great.
Do not assume that they are not still going to kill us. So they might get our weapons. So if you have any way of concealing something on yourself, do it now.
I'll tuck my little hammer into under my armor.
You guys try to stow some of your weapons or supplies aboard upon yourself surreptitiously. Anyone who wants to make a sleight of hand check and describe what you're stowing. Vanky, I heard you say hammer.
Yeah, you did. So I was just looking at if I had sleight of hand, so it's just going to be a dex check. So basically, she's just going to try to considering she's bulky and wearing bulky armor, basically just try to tuck it underneath a plate of the Vescover plate, so that it's not super obvious, where it looks like it's an accessory or a one of those mod plates or something like that.
Okay, I like it. Go ahead and make your check.
We got a 17 on sleight of hand to
Nope, extremely obvious.
Have the typical weapons that we carry look more like part of Amu's shell than actual separate weapons.
Yeah, you're pretty good at you do need to use actual mechanical or technological components to inject people with stuff. It's not just all your stuff, but you're very good at like covering some of that with your own coral, and making it appear as though part of yourself. So that's a very healthy sleight of hand. Very good. So let's go down the line, starting with so we did Amu. Let's do Vangi. Yeah, it looks like you're trying to hide a hammer under a plate.
She sighs and just says,
"Sneak this hammer right under this plate," and everyone else is like, you can see the top of the hammer. Looks like a hammer. The plate is bulging out, and you can also see the handle of the hammer.
I'll just punch something if it comes to it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have plenty of like chairs and tables that you can just hit people with.
Yeah.
Riddick, what are you hiding?
I'm gonna cheek a knife and basically try to hide a pistol, basically in a side holster, a makeshift one if I don't have one readily available.
Well, yeah, so I mean, you can
Under
easily
my
put a
clothes.
pistol in a side holster, but the question is, where's that side holster going? You can't have that obvious or they might stop.
No, just
Ankle holster.
underneath my clothes.
You guys engage in all sorts of funny chicanery about hiding your stuff, but I'm going to fast forward things a moment, save us a little bit of time, and say that they don't care. They let you in, weapons and all, so it's
Good.
all good.
I went to the trouble of making the big rifle look like a camera lens.
Okay, you can type it up and put it on the Discord for patrons.
That's fine.
Camera hiding a camera or holding.
Exactly.
I've described Jabubnins a couple of times, but I want to show you guys what they actually look like. So if you guys can go to your Roll20, I'm going to show you a couple of different Jabubnin images.
Bah.
Oh, that's very odd.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're human-sized toad people, but they do wear clothes and they can wield weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I've got real
They
Bucky
have
O'Hare
one
vibes
leg.
on these guys.
Yeah, they're
And they have one leg.
monopedal. That's weird.
They look like a tree grew a frog.
Do you guys see both the purple one and the white one?
Yep.
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 Yep, there you go. Cool.
Purple
So-
one with a giant railgun.
Almost look like something from Von Bode.
So you already have a meeting scheduled, which seems to get you by the docking agents and the like initial security guards. They just run you. They're like, oh yeah, you're expected right this way.
Okay.
The corporate HQ is a massive cube. I mean, like 50 stories high, probably embedded, like it's built into the planet, and so it might have like 10 sub basements as well.
Mhm.
And there's all sorts of, there's corridors as you're going through, but they're all traffic, but all kind of like incidentally of like people just going about their regular, well, not people, not humans anyway, Jabubnins going about their regular business. They look at you a little bit like, oh, visitors.
Have all the kind of checkpoints that have led us through been Jabubnins as well?
Absolutely.
You mentioned something about the way they communicate. Is there something we can pick up from talking to those guys?
So far, they've been very official and like concerned with your meeting and that you're on time, which is good, and who all you'll be meeting with, but they don't otherwise care. That's
Okay.
fine. Like they let you in, weapons and all, even as crazily armed as you are. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
In the background, you can see through like the transparent windows of the giant cube. They're industrial recyclers just spewing fumes into the air, but they're very efficient at repurposing basically all the different life forms into whatever Doctor and Scramble need. So
I wonder what space suds, and for that matter, Scribo, are actually made of.
Do you really want to know the answer to that question?
Yeah, I'm not
No,
sure.
no.
The Soylent
I put
Green
space
cleaner
suds in my
concerns
mouth.
me. I'm not worried.
You were eventually led to a waiting. There's like an executive assistant, secretary, Jabubnin there. We're glad you've arrived. This is you're on time. That's good. The meeting should start shortly. If you'll just all have a seat.
Thanks.
Sure. Thank you, President Nixon.
Is there anybody else in the waiting room?
Nope, just you. There's a little water cooler, which isn't a regular water cooler. It's like a water spritzer that a couple of Jabubnins are standing around gossiping, but you can only hear the occasional comment.
Okay.
It's like those things at a water park where you can press the button and it spritzes you with a light mist.
Sure. Or like anywhere in Arizona.
Yep. Oh, it's quite warm here. 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So I guess cooler than the United States right now.
A lot warmer. Hello, future people.
Yeah, it's like 57.5 degrees centigrade.
But no, it's very warm even at night and exceptionally humid. And despite this facility clearly having temperature regulations, that seems to be the temperature they want it at.
Sure.
I feel like this is actually probably pretty comfortable for Vangie.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And Amu, because I imagine it's also super humid.
It might be a little annoying for the androids.
Suboptimal performance.
Yeah. I gotta redirect a lot of cooling throughout my system.
That's what he calls sweating.
According to the meeting agenda that was just passed around, you guys are scheduled to present to a team of Jabubnins, like a team of Doctor and Scramble executives, soon.
Oh, okay. Great.
Quentin, can you put together some slides?
Certainly. Accessing.
Here, I've got some great pictures for you. And she'll send pictures of the team being awesome.
That's the sound of the team being awesome.
After a few minutes, you guys are given admittance into a corporate meeting room. All the halls are, by the way, it's immaculate. We're talking, that sterile white look, as if it was all made by Apple or something like that. No hard corners, just lots of curves, and there's a light music playing everywhere you go. You are given admittance into a corporate meeting room, but the big circular table is only slightly above ground level. Instead of chairs, there are actually cavities in the floor that you see a bunch of Jabubnins hop into, and their hopping reveals that it's basically an indoor pool with a meeting table in the middle. You're all invited to take spots at the table, which will require that you slide into the pool. They do helpfully offer synthetic leg sleeves, which are a combination of a partial onesie and a sack from a sack.
Awesome.
I will decline unless it appears to be something that will offend them.
Oh, it doesn't offend them. It might offend you.
We will crawl out of our shell lab thing and join them at the table.
Yes, aquatic creatures unite.
Finally, we see Amu in his own element, and it's in a boardroom.
Naked in a boardroom.
I mean, would my I'll make sure my weapons don't get wet, but would my armor be a problem? I mean, obviously it'll be heavy, but if I'm just lounging there, would it be too rust or something?
It seems to be designed like a form-fitting cavity for you to slip into, and then there to be a constant pool of moisture running by your legs. So if that sounds favorable to you, you can just do it.
Yeah, I'll like take off my leg plates and basically just like dip my legs in it.
Ooh, it's warm.
Yeah, Pegubino has pretty form-fitting armor, so just hop in there.
All right. So after a few minutes, it reaches 21:30. It seems like there's a bunch of Jabubnans. By the way, one thing that Amu knows about Jabubnans is they can asexually produce. It's so they don't really have sexes, and they can alter their genome slightly. It naturally mutates with their asexual reproduction, but also there's like a process they can undergo to mutate it a little bit further. So they just all go by they, because there's no such thing as he or she. After 21:30, one of the Jabubnans volunteers. One of them, actually, one comes in just a little bit for the rest of them. And one of the seated ones will puff up all of a sudden. And that reminds Amu of another of their abilities, which is that, like a pufferfish, they can become like 4 times as large by basically in puffing themselves. And the one that puffed up will say, Zox, you're late. You know what that means. Everyone, Zox was 30 seconds late. That's 30 credits they owe each of us. Plus, this shift's stimulant injections are on Zox's tab. Everyone thanks Zox. And the round of the table goes, thanks, Zox. And that same puffed up one will go, all right, thank you, everyone. Just at the start, if everyone could introduce themselves with their names and official titles, just so we can maximize the opportunities for synergy here. You all know me, but I'll go first. I'm Senior Director of Jabubnan Resources, Troll. And then they gesture to their left, which is where you guys are seated in whatever order you choose.
Just say, is that like KROL?
No, Troll with a T.
Oh.
Although, if you're keeping track of names, this is going to be a tough session for you.
I mean, that's
there
fine.
There are 11 Jabubnans in this scene with you.
I mean, he's the senior director, right?
Senior Director of Jabubnan Resources.
I will swap him out if somebody has a better title as the Jabubnan whose name I know.
Sounds good. They turn it over to you guys, who are all seated in a batch together, however you choose. Whoever's seated closest to the Senior Director of Jabubnan Resources, Trolled, go. Introduce yourself.
I'll go. I'll be like, hello, my name is Hecubino. I am co-captain of Team Lizard Brain.
I'm Vangie. I am also co-captain of Team Lizard Brain. Thanks so much for taking the time to see us today.
Hi, I'm Bob. I'm the pilot of Team Lizard Brain. So happy to be here.
Hello. We are Amu Tufa. We are the medic on Team Lizard Brain. It's a pleasure to meet fellow aquatics.
I'm Spirit, survivalist consultant and acquisition specialist.
Hello, I am a quantum-enhanced titanium shell neurological and heuristic system for education and instruction. But please call me Quentin.
A lot of the Jabubnans nod at that. So, is that everybody? I think it is.
Yep.
After that, they all say their voices are indistinguishable. Senior Executive Vice President of Management Operations, Kruk. Assistant Deputy President of Operational Management, Rosk. Management Budget Liaison Quaestor, Cap. Associate Vice President of Logistics, Josh. Internal Systems Efficiency Analyst, Draw. External Systems Relations and Integrations Advisor, Bob. Assistant Director of Security Incident Management, Zox.
Thanks, Ox.
Sub-Chancellor of Special Projects Operations, Pog. Chief Internal Security Strategos Officer, Intern, Liss. All right, says Krold. We're eager to see your presentation. Team co-captains, present.
Thank you. Yes. So, Quentin, if you don't mind, you want to start up the slides?
Accessing PowerPoint 2351.
So, Team Lizard Brain,
A
brand new venture and a, let's face it, risk for Space Suds. It has been quite some time on Drifters since somebody has won the very first race of their very first season. But once again, or really for the first time, Team Lizard Brain delivered, and I'll have a little pointer that and like wiggle it around like a picture of like Bangy just like lifting up Hecubino and Skritic like in victory.
laser show. Pew, pew, pew.
Yep. However, due to some serious sabotage, and I'll get a slide of some gremlins. Our team was then not and a music cue. Our team was not able to compete in the second race. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That would usually involve some sort of standardized process in which you all would try to recoup your losses by taking all our credits, our equipment, maybe dismantling some of one or both of our androids, and essentially trying to get back all those losses. However, I know, and you know, Quentin, I believe you know as well, as you are, in fact, a unit designed for bureaucratic interfacing, that even that process is costly, especially if there's some sort of resistance, right? Which just the fact of, beings being alive is bound to cause some sort of resistance to have them beat up, capture, and have their stuff taken.
The Jabubnins all like nod their heads knowingly at this.
So, what we are here to talk to you about is a proposal that will in fact turn this unfortunate circumstance into a guaranteed front page of the infosphere slot for Space Suds when we, Team Lizard Brain, win the redemption round.
Everyone loves a winner, but what they love even more is a loser that becomes a winner.
Underdogs. So, what we are proposing is a grassroots, synergistic catchphrase effort to create a new race within the Drifters program, for which there is actually some precedent to get Team Lizard Brain not just back in the race, but also at the top of Infosphere search engines, and all create any number of new fan sites and other things that will not be able to help but include Space Suds, as since Team Lizard Brain is synonymous with Space Suds.
The Jabubnins in their little board meeting do go boom, 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 a bunch amongst themselves.
Right.
We think that we could greatly improve your number of impressions of the Space Suds brand by cleaning up on the rest of Drifters for you. We just need a second chance to really prove ourselves to you. Plus, you'd be saving money on hiring a squad to take us out. There's basically a win-win-win. Win for you, win for us, win for the fans.
Here's the thing. As you well know, the best way to successfully capitalize on a grassroots campaign is to involve as many corporate entities as possible. So, if you are able, well, first let me show you what we've got already, and I'll pull up a chart.
You pull up a chart?
Yeah.
Yep. Appropriate charts. This is a bar graph of his favorite pies and then a pie chart of his favorite bars.
As you can see here, the movement has already started. Here is Team Lizard Brain engagement after the last race. Here it is prior to the next race. I guess a little dip, obviously. But in fact, losing the last race has caused a commotion. So, with the help of Space Suds, say simply by making some sort of statement of support, or lending us a couple 100,000 web bots, we should be able to make it so that Drifters cannot help but put us back in the race for a redemption run.
And the senior director of Development and Resources, Trolled, takes back over and nods at you appreciatively. Thank you for that presentation, Hectorino. And with that, I'll turn it over to Croc. You Troll. I know we've got a busy shift of meetings this rotation, so I appreciate everyone carving some time out of their schedules. We'll try to keep this meeting to a tight 90 minutes. I've got a hard stop at 2300 hours, so if we do go over, we can take the remaining topics offline. Circle back. I'll turn it over to our CISSO line. Thank you, Croc. So, another security incident. Zach sent you all the 112-page memo just before the meeting, so I assume you've read it in its entirety. I think this is an opportunity for us to synergize with Team Lizard Brain and solve both our problems. As she said, a win-win-win. We really need to stay laser-focused on our best practices as we go into this unprecedented territory. At a high level, our team we need to stay in radical alignment on this if we're going to maintain our position as a thought leader in the industry. Thank you all in advance for staying in lockstep. I'll turn it over to Pog. Thank you, Lob. Just to say this out loud, I know you all have a lot of low-hanging fruit on your plates, but we need to find the bandwidth to take on this game changer. I don't think any of us want this to be the new normal, so even if we have to dig deep and drill down, this very unique situation requires us to deal with whatever pushback we get, really smash through any blockers that come up. If you need to get your manager's blessing for overtime, take that up with budgeting. Heck, thank you, Pog. I've run the numbers, and based on Q3 projections, we are running slightly behind our efficiency metrics. So going forward, we're really going to have to do more with less. Over to you, Draw. Thank you, Keck. Agreed. There's no excuse. We need a paradigm shift in operational project management in order to execute this pivot and really move the needle. Rask? Thank you, Drawl. I thought we were presenting our efficiency metrics at 2,300 hours. Thank you, Ross. Looks like we're double booked at 2,300 hours. we're going to need to devote some mind time to improving scheduling. Liz, please schedule another meeting for this working group to go over meeting scheduling operations with the appropriate staff. We need a deep dive, so find the knowledge expert to start the meeting with a presentation. Bach, anything to add? Thank you, Kruk. Before we close the books on this, when is our next touch point on this topic as a leadership group? And then all of a sudden, they're all on their data pads, and they're all talking the same.
Kevin, what did your previous employer do to you?
Who hurt you?
I need an adult and some Valium. I'm serious. I'm having flashbacks to my last job, and I think I'm going to fall over.
Yeah, Kevin was a project manager, so this is basically was his job to run these meetings.
I don't know, guys. I think just as a defense mechanism, I actually developed a lot of good ways to both manipulate and survive meetings. So I feel very comfortable here.
Yeah, I'm with Rodrigo on that one.
Yeah. It's like you
Why
can
don't you two
disappear into
circle
team
back on
meetings.
that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's 17 people in this meeting. It doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bengi is just nodding along with them and looking at Hecubino nervously.
Yeah, what can is there a way to assess whether this is going to either if this is going well or if it's getting away from us?
Sense motive check.
17.
Well, the most important person in the room, the CISSO, said that there was a possible synergy with your team. So that's the only thing that mattered.
Okay.
Everything else is just nonsense.
Okay.
It's noise.
And so after a moment, the senior vice president, Kruk, chimes back in. Oh, with that out of the way, Zox, you can run with this from here. Don't be afraid to innovate, team up, and idea scout. Think outside the box, but definitely do not stray from within the confines of the R&D cube. Everyone have their action items? Great. Thanks, everyone. And thanks again, Zox, for the stimulant injections. Zox!
Oh, that's Zox.
I can literally feel my pulse in my temples.
I give him a Shooter McGavin.
It seems like you guys are intended to talk with Zox.
Yeah. I'll wade out and go over to him. Unless these are individual pods of water, right?
Yes, there is some sort of circulation that connects them, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'll splash out and go over and talk to him.
I'll accompany Hecubino.
Yep, same here.
Yep. How are you?
Good. So what's the
next action item?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll cover that in the meeting after the meeting.
Oh, great. When do we want to do that then?
Once everyone leaves.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, we can do that now. That meeting was pretty par for the course, I'd say.
Good to know. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly for the executives to CYC, cover your cloaca.
God.
So, you have a problem where you need our resources to boost you on the infosphere?
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, as Assistant Director of Security Incident Management, I also have a problem.
Okay.
And if you help me with my problem, I can help you with yours.
What's your problem?
Well, we have a creative type in our research and development cube that's gone rogue. We've sealed the area, but it's only a matter of time before it thinks up something that could penetrate our shielding. So you all go in and inject the creative with this obedience serum He holds forth a massive, like it's one of those spinal tap injections. It requires 2 hands. It's huge. You injected with this obedience serum and get operations going again. This logjam is really negatively impacting our internal efficiency stats, and it's going to come up on weekly reviews for sure.
Oh, you don't want that.
No.
That could negatively affect KPIs across the board.
You're telling me.
Why don't you just fire them?
Oh, no. We can't fire the creatives. They're hard to replace.
But won't they be less creative if you give them the obedience serum?
No, that's not in their nature. They'll be creative. They just won't be creative about escaping.
Right.
See.
A more manageable form of creativity.
You got it.
Okay. Can you send us all the relevant details? That's here in your headquarters, right?
Yes. That's in the isolated R&D cube section of our headquarters, but yes.
Okay. And we can have clearance on the way in and everything?
Oh, of course. You will need to run some tests on you on the way out to be sure you're not infected or anything like that, but yes.
Infected with what?
Oh, anything. Standard procedures. Don't let it touch you with its pseudopods, by the way.
What is this creative type?
Oh, it's pretty clever. I'll say that part. It's a smart one.
But like, what species?
I suppose if you want to be technical about it, it's a Thagorthrel.
Like looks at Amu.
Amu. You know what a Thagorthrel is.
Probably.
So, a Thagorthrel is an ooze.
You spell Thagorthrel?
Yeah, well, I can, but it doesn't really matter. THORGOTHREL. So they're a large size category, so about the size of like a horse or something like that. And they definitely do have pseudopods that can genetically reprocess people when they touch them. And they usually use some sort of internal, like they have some sort of technological item embedded within them to give them enough structural stability to like stand and move out and sometimes project force fields. They're for an ooze, they're quite intelligent. They were originally not an ooze. They were some sort of humanoid people back in the day, but they turned themselves into oozes. Some other mundane facts about them, like that they're immune to cold and electricity, and they're treated as an ooze, and they can sense life within 100 feet of themselves. They don't have eyes, things like that. They're very intelligent. What do you convey to the team?
Thagorthrel are highly intelligent oozes that came about due to some genetic manipulations, it looks like. They tend to be solitary, it looks like. There seems to be, but we should be fine as long as we don't startle it.
And they communicate?
Yes.
Oh, good.
We set this one up with a communications pad so it can speak verbally through its telepathic impressions.
Oh, good.
Even better.
I'm going to... So...
All of the security personnel in there have been compromised, and you can't count on anyone's assistance. They're likely all infected.
So I still don't get the infected part. Infected by what?
Thagorthrel.
Yep.
So, like, does it mind control them?
So, actually, give me a life science check there, Amu.
25.
Nice. No, it doesn't mind control them. If it touches you with its pseudopod, it can kind of poison you. It's not really a poison per se, but it's a touch attack, so you might as well call it a poison. Where it starts, it's called atavistic resequencing. It starts reprogramming your DNA if it wants to.
Mm-hmm.
It melts your genome.
Less mind control and more genomic adjustment.
That's even worse.
Only if it touches you.
Does like throwing syringes at something require a proficiency?
You're proficient in all injection weapons, then yeah.
Okay, I'll hand the syringe to Amu.
Or it's not a syringe so much as a giant two-handed, it will take a massive amount of force. Unfortunately, you don't think this one could be thrown. This one has to be applied via melee. However, Amu's still the only one who would be proficient.
Amu's actually pretty strong, right?
Yeah, Amu's actually, I think strength is our second. Yeah, strength and con are our secondaries.
All right, so I'll hand it to Amu just to avoid that -4 penalty or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, we'll need to run diagnostics to see what disabled its last injection. You may have to rough it up some, but don't kill it. Oh, and as I said before, don't let it touch you with the pseudopods.
So if it has the ability to recombobulate, should we expect resistance from the people that you've sent before to catch it?
Yes.
Are we allowed to respond?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But not kill them?
We really just need the creative back.
Mm-hmm.
Acceptable losses, sunk costs.
Got it.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Zox?
And if we do this for you, you'll help us with our campaign to get back in the race?
Well, that's enough.
All right.
Okay. Let's go.
Hooray.
And Zox leads you through some of the winding paths of the Scramble cube that you were all in to the R&D cube, which is surrounded by a visible force field that seems to be preventing various organic, basically vine creatures from lashing out from inside it at the various checkpoints that are manned.
Okay.
Well, you guys are going to have to go in here, and good luck if you die. Sorry. We won't be coming in after you, and we will perform many medical checks on you before we let you re-enter.
Quick question. Were we allowed to retrieve any of our other weapons, or did we come in with just what we came in with?
Oh, no, we came in with all our weapons because they didn't care.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the idea is come in with weapons, hide the ones that you want to keep, and they didn't care, so we...
Oh, right. Okay.
Kept all our weapons.
Yep, that's correct. All right. Well, good luck. This is a real opportunity. And Zox types in a code at the pad, and you can see the overgrowth around the hallway you're about to enter as the force field drops in front of you. And there's a multicolored, spectacular vista just shortly ahead of you as the hallway opens up into an absolute plethora of life and plant species and animal species all flying around, all super beautiful and multicolored and transcendent, and nothing bad will happen to you in this R&D cube as you go after Thorg, the ooze.
Boy, I'm glad.
Wow, that's great.
That's reassuring.
Indeed, it is reassuring, isn't it? And so, as you guys proceed deeper into this cube on within the Doctor and Scramble headquarters on Arshalan, that is where we will end things for this time.
On Critical Hit.
On Critical Hit. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, Kevin, I'm going to have to send some positive thoughts your way, man.
We're going to need to circle back
your trauma
really
is down. And I'm sure you have. And I'm sure as the rest of the world opens up, hello, future people, that you too may be having to sit in one of these meetings in the near future. But we'll send you some positive thoughts as well. And we will also send some positive thoughts to make sure that all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
It's true that some things change as we get older. But if you're a woman over 40 and you're dealing with insomnia, brain fog, moodiness, and weight gain, you don't have to accept it as just another part of aging. And with MIDI Health, you can get help and stop pushing through it alone. The experts at MIDI understand that all these symptoms can be connected to the hormonal changes that happen around menopause. And MIDI can help you feel more like yourself again. Many healthcare providers aren't trained to treat or even recognize menopause symptoms. MIDI clinicians are menopause experts. They're dedicated to providing safe, effective, FDA-approved solutions for dozens of hormonal symptoms, not just hot flashes. Most importantly, they're covered by insurance. 91% of MIDI patients get relief from symptoms within just 2 months. You deserve to feel great. Book your virtual visit today at joinmidi.com. That's joinmidi.com.